Oh boy, let's get to this, folks. I have lost for words.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I've begun uploading some content onto Rumble as well, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster on that site too, and also, give me a follow over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster1. But anyhow, let's dig into the numbers for Superman. It is worth noting that, as Cosmic Book News pointed out on Twitter right before the weekend started, the estimates for the box office of Superman this weekend was $130 million or more. This headline from Forbes is from just a few days ago, and they are clearly expecting 130 mil, so something happened to this film in the past few days which put downward pressure on its expected box office haul for the weekend. Maybe it was...
Okay, first, before we let Dr. Disaster continue, regardless whether it's either a game, movie, or TV shows, many people are targeting days before weekends, okay? Because people know, and I'm certain some of you know, many people, well, they barely go either to work or to school on the weekends. And I know some of my viewers here who has jobs on the weekends, but rare. Tell me something. Have any of you worked a job in the weekends? If so, how many times did you do? Say in the comments. Don't forget, I checked this, okay? Most people don't work on the weekends. And I do mean most people, okay? Not all, but most.
The film itself. Maybe it was the comments made by James Gunn about Superman being an immigrant. I tend to lean toward that being a major turnoff for a bunch of people because I am consistently hearing that this movie is aggressively mid. But here are the latest estimates from Deadline. As usual, the asshats at this outlet do everything they can to make things seem as positive as possible for their corporate overlords. Superman leaps to $55 million Friday, now flying to $115 million opening. Leaping and flying are really interesting verbs to use to describe going down in the projections, but of course they won't mention the fact.
Of course they won't. What do you expect? Mainstream media? Oh dear. Why do I get the feeling that they reported this? Do they watch the movie? So tell me, folks, have you watched James Gunn's Superman? If so, is it really mid or is it good, in your opinion? Although, deadlock, but then again, we all know, shills ever they are, they will continue to defend them till the end of the day. Because sooner or later, they say, I'll defend you if you give me free stuff. That's what a shill is. Unlike myself or many others, look, we support a company, but that does not mean we shill for them, okay? If there's an issue, let's say an optimization issue or anything, we call them out. Same goes for dialogue or anything, whatever it is a movie or TV show, whatever it is. If there's issues, we call them out. Make them do better.
But here the article says, Warner Brothers and DC Studios Superman is looking at a great $55 million first day, including all those $22.5 million previews. This puts the James Gunn directed movie on course as of this minute for a $115 million plus 3-day. The weekend is still young, and there's room for upside. Some are spotting $120 million. Now, let's put these numbers into perspective and compare them to Man of Steel. So, it looks like Superman is going to end up with a box office that's pretty darn close to its predecessor, though this projection that we looked at suggests that it will lose. But either way, if we factor in the inflation on these numbers, it isn't even close. According to the website numbers.com, which I will link in the description if you want to take a closer look at the site, but according to them, the average ticket price in 2025 is roughly $11.31. If we divide the estimated $115 million that Superman is expected to rake in the United States by the average US ticket price, we can see that roughly 10,168,000 tickets are expected to have been sold for this film domestically this weekend. Now let's do the same thing with Man of Steel. According to Box Office Mojo here, Man of Steel took in about $116,619,000 at the box office on its opening weekend. And if you look at this chart from the numbers.com again, you can see that back in 2013, when Man of Steel was released, the average ticket price to the movies in the US was $8.13.
I think back then, don't forget, remember, Man of Steel comes out in 2013. This one's 2025. Don't forget, Man of Steel comes out 7 years before the pandemic, okay? And I do mean the lockdown. And when the lockdown started, everything blew up, sky high. Everything is bloated. Budget's bloated, tickets bloated, whatever it is.
Man of Steel's opening box office numbers by the average ticket price from back when it came out, this tells us that roughly 14,344,000 tickets were sold for Man of Steel. This means that Superman is tracking to sell about 70 to 71% of the opening weekend that we saw for Man of Steel. If Superman had opened back in 2013, that film would have made about $82 million compared to Man of Steel's $116 million. Or, another way of looking at it, if Man of Steel was released today and sold the same number of tickets, it would make about $162 million. So the question is, where did this roughly 30% of the audience go? Whether you love this new Superman film, or you hate it, or you just don't care, the numbers don't lie. There are fewer people watching this movie, despite reviews being fairly positive.
Before we let Dr. Disaster continue on the Deadlock article, let's think about it for a second. How many of you watched Superman, but left in the 30-minute or 1-hour mark or anything? Because they say the third act is where the action is, because usually what I would do, if there are some parts that are either cringe or anything, I would just put my popcorn on my face, hide it, as long as it doesn't cover up the viewers, aka the people behind me. And then, if there's any action, put it back down and watch. Simple as that.
Watching this movie despite reviews being fairly positive. Now, in this article, Deadline tries to downplay the effect of the political talk, going out of their way to suggest that MAGA, mentioned by name in this article as you can see there, but they suggest that this political movement, this MAGA movement, has no effect on the box office despite having won the popular vote in the country in the election last November. And maybe that's true, I don't know. I'm just going to ask some rhetorical questions in response to their claims. Why did Superman's projected box office drop from 130 million to about 115 million in the past 3 days or so, right after the story of James Gunn talking about kindness and immigration? Why did those numbers drop? The audience for Superman dropped by damn near a third compared to the Man of Steel, which was released right before Hollywood started going batshit crazy with woke progressive shit in their movies. So, what do you think happened?
Let's talk about this for a second. Why? At the moment your movie is releasing, you have to open your mouth, say the quiet part out loud. I had to make an assumption James Gunn just couldn't help himself. He just opened his mouth, now everybody is leaving. Don't forget one thing, these audience, the one that you say that are either Trump supporters or even, I don't know, right-wingers, all these, they are the ones, not just left or right, but every single one are the ones that fund your movies, okay? Not the other way around, okay? No, it's not the other way around. It's the audience that are the one that funds your movie. And when you disrespect the audience, good luck when your movie fails. Yeah, Man of Steel, when I watch it, it's a pretty darker tone, deep flashback and all that, pretty much darker, but hey, the action's good. Although I think the arrest scene is much more comedic for me. That's what I like about it. If you guys enjoyed this movie, James Gunn Superman, then all the power to you. I won't stop you. But just remember one thing, when James Gunn said that, there is a possibility that he could alienate every single viewers or every single people who go to the movie just to see Superman. And don't think that the name Superman or DC Comics is going to save it, okay? Oh, no. It's not gonna work. Take a look with Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, or better yet, Dragon Age Veilguard. That game failed, and their excuses is, it's Dragon Age in name. I mean, make that make sense, folks. So I think if my calculation is correct, this thing is 350% cooked. But we'll wait and see what's happened next. Will they continue? Can they beat Man of Steel in its opening week?
I have freed you from your extra-dimensional prison. Unless you want to go back, destroy those men.
Launch command and control transfer initiated. Sending encrypted data packets. Please stand by.
ICBM launch sequence detected.
Where?
Coordinates relayed to navigation system. New course plotted and ready.
Leave a like and subscribe if you want gaming news, gaming theories, or you just want to see me play games. You can visit my first, third, and fourth channel up here or link in the description.